What's going on, everybody? Devore G Money. This is the Not for Debate podcast. We live on Facebook and on YouTube. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, and all other streaming platforms. Be sure to listen to us on follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and also be sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. Action-packed show as usual. Talking about the CBS top 16 NFL coaches. Obviously, the NBA playoff injuries that happened thus far, how they affect the NBA. G Money, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Chilling, just watching the Suns game.
You didn't exactly say who you're rooting for.
I know everybody wants Chris Paul. People think that he deserves it. I mean, that's good and all, but I want to see the Clippers versus the Bucks. I wish that we're going to get into that, but I wish the Clippers were fully healthy and the Bucks were fully healthy, and we'll see another rematch between Kawhi and Giannis. But yeah, I'm rooting for the Clippers.
Okay, so as we speak right now, it is currently 58 to 52. Suns right now, 2 minutes and 50 seconds in the second quarter. So we will definitely touch on that as we progress through the pod. But first things first, in the NFL, Saints tackle Ryan Ramczyk gets a contract extension. It's a 5-year, $96 million deal, $60 million guaranteed, $19.2 million per year, which sets the market now for the highest paid tackle in pro football, which for your information, G Money, this puts him over top of Lane Johnson for the Philadelphia Eagles, who signed his contract in 2019, which is annually is about $18 million per year. Now, if you remember when we ended up doing the New Orleans Saints preview video and we discussed the salary cap, I believe this New Orleans Saints was sitting with like over $60 million, and then they ended up manipulating the salary cap and restructuring a couple things, letting some players go. But the general manager, Mickey Loomis, did his thing, man, being able to bring back Ryan Ramczyk, one of the best tackles in football. I believe he was first team All-Pro in 2019, second team All-Pro in 2018 and 2020. So he is an elite caliber tackle. Now, as far as like looking at the New Orleans Saints right now, I'm gonna ask you the question. In the NFC South, which is the Atlanta Falcons, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints, and the Carolina Panthers, where do you see the New Orleans Saints finishing in the NFC South?
Behind Tampa Bay. I think they have a lot of talent. I think that they'll be second in the division. I think that there's a chance that they can both make the playoffs, in my opinion. The Tampa Bay, because now is what, 7 teams each year now? Is that going forward, or was that just last year?
It was. I think that's what it is going forward. You get three wild card teams. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think they'll be right behind Tampa Bay.
Right behind.
They might
Tampa
even have
Bay.
a better record than Tampa Bay. You never know.
See, I have the New Orleans Saints still coming in second too, but I would definitely say look out for Carolina though.
Yeah,
because we don't know what we're gonna get out of Sam Darnold. If we're going to continue to see the same trash play that we saw with him with New York, but
that was Adam Gase. But go ahead.
Oh my goodness, I'm gonna let that go today.
Okay,
but yeah, we don't know what we're gonna get out of Sam Darnold. Christian McCaffrey is going to be coming back. The defense is getting better for the Carolina Panthers, so it's very close. It's also going to come down to Jameis Winston too as well. I already voiced my opinion about Jameis Winston when it comes down to his last year in Tampa Bay, where he ended up throwing 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions and ended up having like over 5,000 yards passing. Him being put with a head coach, Hall of Fame head coach, Sean Payton, I feel like he'll be able to clean up those interceptions.
But that's the thing, though. Is he the clear starter, though? That's the point.
I think he's light years better than Taysom Hill, to be honest.
Yeah, but you know Sean Payton loves that guy, though. You know he loves him.
Well, that's nice. Do you want to win a championship, or are we playing favorites here? Because, like, it was. I feel like Jameis Winston was done dirty last year when they decided to have Taysom Hill as the starter. Like I get it. Like Taysom Hill has the mobility. We can wrinkle something new with that. But at the end of the day, mobile quarterbacks don't win your championships. And Jameis Winston is your traditional drop back passer. You think about it all you want. Michael Vick ain't win one. Really,
okay. What about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is not considered mobile.
Okay, how about this? A improviser type quarterback. Because I think Aaron Rodgers, he's a pocket passer. He only moves outside the pocket out of necessity. So I'd probably say off the top of my head, the most recent quarterback that was mobile that I will put in that category would probably be Russell Wilson, to be honest with you. But at that time, I felt like that was more of a Marshawn Lynch team, and they were run first and play great defense and win the game. When Marshawn Lynch left, that's when the keys was handed to Russell Wilson. Like, okay, you're going to have to carry us, because I had my doubts about Russell Wilson too at the time when Marshawn Lynch was there. But getting back to Jameis Winston, I feel like he's light years better than Taysom Hill as far as velocity throwing the football, just pure talent in general. Jameis Winston got it over Taysom Hill. And again, I get it. Like, everybody loves the flashy plays of the quarterback breaking the pocket and scrambling for extra yards. But at the end of the day, them type of quarterbacks, they don't win championships. So, and also another thing before I forget, this is the best offensive line that Jameis Winston has ever played behind in football. So, I believe with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like, they didn't have any protection for Jameis. That's why I was a little shocked, because of the fact that when Tom Brady ended up going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past year, they went and got a Tristan Wirfs in the first round of the NFL draft, and they cleaned it up. So they knew that was an issue, and we still let Jameis walk. But I rest my case. I'm going with Jameis. Jameis, I feel like Jameis gonna have a good year this year.
Hopefully Sean Payton feels the same way, because if I was him, I'll go with Jameis as well. But Sean Payton, he might throw a wrinkle in there. There might be a dual quarterback situation. We might see a version of the Wildcat. You just never know. His offense is always innovative, so we'll see. But I think Jameis is going to be the starter, but I think you're going to see a lot of the what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Taysom Hill.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of him as well.
Now, offensively, they got some weapons like Michael Thomas. Arguably, I'm not going to say he's the best. I'll probably put him in my top 5. That's a hard one. That's a hard one. I had to catch myself. That's a very, very hard one, because, to be honest with you, I need to see what you are without Drew Brees before I put him in my top 5. So that's an issue for me. So I'll probably put Michael Thomas in my top 10, and then you have Kamara. You just paid Kamara last year, arguably top 5 running back in the league. And like I said, Jameis, I feel like he's going to be the X factor for the New Orleans Saints. So
what about defensively?
See. Defensively, I'm a little suspect about their defense, because of the fact they got defensively this year, I feel like they'll be okay. Now, after this year is going to be an issue, because their all-pro cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, he's going into a contract year this year, so they're going to have to pay him. Marcus Williams, their safety, they end up franchise tagging him. So we gonna see. We definitely gonna see. After this year, I feel like the New Orleans Saints, they'll be fine this year. But after, in 2022, that's when I feel like the Saints are going to end up running into some issues. Oh, goodness gracious. The NBA playoffs, man. Injuries playing a big, huge impact during the course of these playoffs. Off the top of your head, what NBA playoff series you think of was affected the most by a player getting injured?
Oh, definitely the Brooklyn Nets. Because James was playing, but he was hobbled, so they didn't have the same James Harden. And then of course Kyrie, who can be your closer, who can be the closer if Durant is having an off night, which doesn't really happen. After that, I think Anthony Davis' injury was huge. Kawhi's injury was big, but the Clippers are still playing well, so I don't think they can win the championship, but they still got through the playoffs without him. Let me see. Mike Conley wasn't healthy, the whole playoffs.
My
Serge
bad.
Ibaka's not really
I
that
did you
much
so
of a
dirty
difference.
just now. I didn't even give you the list. So yeah, Jamal Murray ACL tear that happened before the playoffs even
Oh
started.
yeah, that's right.
I felt like
Yeah.
that affected the Denver Nuggets. I felt like they should have ended up. If we're being completely 100, I think they should have
Western
took out.
Conference Finals.
Yes, they should be in the Western Conference Finals if they had Jamal Murray. Jaylen Brown, he had the wrist injury. You have Anthony Davis, obviously, in the first round against the Phoenix Suns. I think they would have murdered the Suns if they had Anthony Davis in the lineup. And then Mike Conley, you just mentioned, had the hamstring.
Kemba Walker.
Yes, Kemba Walker, James Harden with the hamstring, and then Kyrie Irving with the ankle. But go ahead and continue. That's my bad. I just had to break that down real fast for you.
No, it's okay. And then we seen in game 3, Trae Young went down, and then we seen Giannis go down in game 4.
Yes.
These players are getting hurt left and right, and the game is still great. Don't get me wrong, but as the love of basketball, you want to see everybody healthy to see who's the best team. Because when you have the great players that are injured, there's always the asterisk. Like everybody always says, well, they won, but look who was injured. So it kind of dampens the game. I just wish that injuries are part of sports. It happens, but it just seems to happen at the wrong time, especially for Kawhi and especially for Jamal Murray and even Donovan Mitchell. He was playing, but he wasn't healthy. No one's 100% healthy, but these guys are actually playing hurt. LeBron was playing hurt. What do you call it? Joel Embiid was playing hurt. Like these guys are not. I don't know what it is, but he made a good point saying that I don't know if they need more time or I don't think they need more time. I think last year, the combination of the last 15 months, it kind of messed everybody's body and schedule up. So when they came into this year, even though they had 5 months off last year, but then when they end the season in October, they came right back a month later. So it's like I understand LeBron's point, and it's just unfortunate because I want to see all teams healthy and may the best team win. But unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way.
Because I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like from the time that they shut down the NBA as far as playing games when they had the COVID-19.
It's like March, February, right? Last year.
Yeah, it was like February, March-ish, and we didn't start the bubble till July.
Yeah.
Somewhere around July. So you had 3 or 4 months off right there.
Right.
So
yeah, but I just think the quick turnaround probably, but especially the players, teams like the Heat and the Lakers because they played in the finals. You've seen the Heat this year; they weren't really healthy for most of the year. So I think LeBron has a point, but then at the same time, other people have a point. They had 3 or 4 months off before that, but I don't know. It's just something's going on where these players ain't healthy. I just want to see next season because next season everything goes back to normal. The NBA comes late October, and ends in June. That's when everything will come back around. Everybody be healthy, and you'll finally see. Hopefully, Klay Thompson stays healthy, and you see the Warriors. And like next season is going to be a huge season. It's going to be a huge season. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
But this season and last season were kind of
Golden State Warriors. I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie.
Me too. Me too.
I'm seething at the mouth to see the Splash Brothers, boy. I'll tell you.
They got 2 first-round draft picks, don't they? They can trade up for something. Listen, the Warriors are going to be trouble.
My dream scenario for the Golden State Warriors right now.
Don't say
if they trade both them first-round picks for Joel Embiid.
Ooh. Yeah, well, that's good, but can he stay healthy? That's the only thing. That's his only question. Can he stay healthy?
That's questionable. Okay, give me either Joel Embiid or give me Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're going to want more than the first-round picks. I think they're going to want a player and the 2 first rounds for Ben.
Okay, so go ahead. You take Draymond. How about that?
Yeah, but you're gonna trade Draymond though? Like, you think the Warriors
Okay,
actually do that?
if they get
What about Wiggins? Nah, Wiggins ain't enough, right? Nah.
if they get, I'm gonna do it straight up. If the Golden State Warriors decide they want to take Embiid, I'll give them Wiseman and then 2 first-round picks.
So after these playoffs, you think the Sixers are going to keep Ben Simmons? That's not going to happen.
I think they're going to have to make a choice though at some point what they're going to do.
But see, that's the bad thing about it. You choose a guy that doesn't want to shoot and can't shoot, or you choose a guy that can't stay healthy. It's like, what you're not going to win either or. So it's like,
I feel like you have a better chance with Ben Simmons because that's something that you can. I don't know. We went back and forth about this. We don't know if it's psychological or is it just ignorance that you just don't want to shoot. But I feel like that can be fixed opposed to
but it's been 5 years.
Durability though.
I get you. So you would trade. You're telling me on now at 10:22 p.m. you would trade Embiid instead of Ben Simmons. That's what you're saying.
I just like him. I just like seeing. I just fantasized him in a Golden State Warrior uniform just now, and I was just like, "Damn, that looks good." That's where he need to go.
Do you think 3 guards would be good?
Depends on how they're being used.
I'm getting that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Steph, Damian Lillard, and Clay, all 3 of them together. No, that's not going to work.
I don't think that's going to work.
Okay.
I don't think I like that. Because I feel like Steph is kind of a liability on defense too. So who is he checking?
Well, Dame can guard. Dame is not as great, but he's better than Steph, so he can guard the best guard, on the team.
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, what Steph is like 6'3", so you're going to be guarding the 2 guard who's going to be on average at least 6'6".
No, you put Dame at the 2, and you put Dame to guard the 2.
You putting Dame at the 2?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I don't think the Golden State Warriors really need a premier ball handler because they move the ball around so much.
Okay, so you don't see that working. No. Okay.
I don't think it's necessary for you to have another guard. I feel like you need more a 3-and-D type of guy.
I see what you mean by a center that can play, because when they had DeMarcus Cousins, he wasn't DeMarcus Cousins, but that talent, was there. So if they get Joel Embiid, that would just take him over the top because that's all they need. That's all, a scoring big man. And Draymond, for some reason, cannot shoot anymore. The last 2-3 years, he just can't shoot. Like, he's just been terrible at shooting. So even though he does everything great, I can see them moving Draymond. But if they can find a way to keep Draymond and trade Wiseman or Wiggins or somebody, or Kelly Oubre, then yes, if you can find a way to keep Draymond. But if you have to, trade him. But trade him for something that's good. Just
think about it. Like, you have Joel Embiid on the block. Who you cannot double team nobody. And then Joel Embiid can just be interchangeable. Where you want him? On the perimeter? You want him on the block? Where you want him at? Steph and Clay just eating. On the pick and roll? They kill him on the pick and roll.
So imagine that pick and roll with him and Steph. Oh my God! Oh, that would be killer.
That'd be hard. That'd be tough to stop. No bull.
I don't see Phoenix doing this again next season. I think that this might be a one-time thing.
It's just a Cinderella that we're done.
I think they'll be 5th, 6th, 7th seed, but like number 2 seed almost going to the finals. I don't see that again. I could be wrong. You never know. I could be wrong, but I just don't see that.
Personally, I don't see them making the playoffs again for a while.
No, I won't go that far.
If they keep the same roster, because I personally don't feel like they have enough offensive production for them to do it consistently. What you got?
I got something for you. What if this is a 1-year Chris Paul thing? Chris Paul leaves, right, or retires or whatever, and Dame comes to Phoenix. What do you think about that?
Okay, then we cooking with something, because you Devin Booker and Dame. You got
the same team.
2 perennial scorers on the same team. I'm just saying, like, Chris Paul, he's not really doing much outside of the pick and roll, putting up that midi. That's all you get out of him. Yeah. And then DeAndre Ayton, even though I said earlier, he is doing some work in the post right now. If he could develop his post
is.
game, then I could probably see it. But on paper right now, when I'm looking at the Phoenix Suns, offensively, they just don't have enough. And we would just talk about Golden State. They're gonna be healthy. LA gonna be back. I don't even know what they're gonna do with the Trailblazers. I like the
Or
Grizzlies,
the Mavericks.
The Mavericks.
No, but
like
the Mavericks, I don't know what they're gonna do with them because now they're talking about trading Luka, which is fucking crazy. I don't know why they would trade him, but
yeah, that's crazy. But I don't think Jason Kidd's gonna trade him. Okay. And then I end up seeing the dream Dallas Maverick personnel. They was gonna bring in JJ Barea. They was gonna bring in Jason Terry. They was thinking about bringing in Dirk Nowitzki. I think
Dirk is already there. He's already a consultant.
Yeah,
Dirk
he's like a
Dirk,
consultant. Yeah,
Jason Terry. Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. I don't think they would never let that happen. If they trade Luka, they're not doing that. Porzingis, maybe.
Yeah, get rid of him. I think Porzingis. I think he can go to a good team, and somebody needs to get in his head and says, "Listen, you can shoot three sometimes. It's fine, but not every time, dude. You're 7'3". Go to the paint, dude. Go to the paint. Get easier shots. It's much better." But are we going to get to our daily frustration about the Milwaukee Bucks, or you don't want to talk about it?
I was just about to say, speaking of frustration, yes.
Oh Lord,
the Milwaukee Bucks. Yo, I'm literally just sitting here watching the game yesterday. I'm like, yo. The Milwaukee Bucks are just like, here you go, Hawks. Here, take the series from us. It's yours. Go ahead and have it.
And this is before Giannis went down. Before Giannis
yes,
went down.
It's before that even happened. It's before it even happened. That's I'm getting to that point right now. That the Milwaukee Bucks are just like, here, fuck it. Here, take it. We don't want it. Just here you go.
But you know what's so frustrating about them? When you look at their team, they're the best team in the league right now. They are. They have the most talent. They should win it all. But they just frustrate you so much offensively. It's like, yo, Middleton had a great game. What it was, game 3. He had I don't know if you saw that. Like, we've been giving him hell, but he had a great fourth quarter. He scored 20 points. And then you come out in game 4 and just do the same shit, revert back to the same garbage, just run it up and shooting. It's like, yo, pass the ball. When they play well, nobody can beat them. But when they just jack up shots and Giannis does that little spin and gets an offense foul, it's like, yo, do something else. Get a post move. Like, oh, they're frustrating. And yet, they'll still probably win this series, as frustrating as they are. And they'll probably still win the championship. But it's just like, this is going to be the most frustrating championship run I've ever saw in my life. It's frustrating.
Yeah, like I cannot stand watching the Milwaukee Bucks. Like I'm so happy to see them in the conference finals because I've been rooting for the Bucks over the past 5 years. Like I was a Giannis fan. Now I'm borderline right now. I'm a Giannis fan. So I'm just sitting down and I'm just watching Giannis right now. Where you just. Why are you shooting the ball? Why are you shooting the ball? And like you just said, Chris Middleton, what is going on? Is there something going on at home, bro? Because you just be picking and choosing which games you decide you want to show up in. And then Drew Holiday, like, I don't get it, bro. I just don't get it. Like, sometimes you want to play and sometimes you don't want to play. Like, those 3 players right there, and then they're the key players on the team. Like, what?
The only guy that's been consistent has been Portis, Bobby Portis. That's it.
Yes,
the only guy that's been consistent,
and nobody was expecting him to contribute in this series. So I'm like, bro, like, especially Chris Middleton. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I've been putting the word out about you over the past 5 years. You're embarrassing me right now. Like, forever, you're embarrassing me right now. I'm like, yo, like, you about to make that turn right now. You about to make that turn. And then I think last night, going into the fourth quarter, he shot like 5 for like 17, 18 or something like that. And I was like, sheesh. They don't have Trae Young either. And y'all lose?
That's the thing. That's what Charles Barkley was saying. Like, listen, they don't have their best player. You're supposed to put your foot on their throat and go up 3-1 and come out aggressive. They came out with no energy, very lethargic, just like, oh, okay, this is how they play. I'm going to explain it. they play like, oh, we're better than everybody, so we're gonna eventually win anyway. Let's just chill. Like, you can't chill in the playoffs because another team might catch you. And the Hawks, got to give them credit. They just came out with so much passion and so much energy. They came out like, yo, we might lose, but we're gonna go out swinging. And they just came and they just took the heart out of Milwaukee. Now, this game 5 is important. If Milwaukee loses game 5, I don't know.
It's over. It's literally over. And it's scaring me right now because Atlanta has the shooters. They can kill you. And Gallinari, I've always liked Gallinari. He's just been hurt too damn much. That's the only reason why people just don't see how good Gallinari has been, because
he's been hurt and he's been on the Knicks.
Yes, that too. But but like early on in Gallinari's early playing career in the NBA, when he was with the Nuggets, like Gallinari was a top 5 forward in the league. So
he was a scorer, scoring.
Yeah,
machine.
So like you put him with Bogdanovich, Herder. I love Herder, and Lou Williams. He put up 20 points last night, starting for Trae Young. The Bucks might be in some trouble if we can continue, if they continue to get, if Trae Young comes back and Lou Williams continues to put up substantial amount of numbers coming off the bench. They're gonna have some problems. But it comes down to Chris Middleton, to be completely honest with you. If Chris Middleton could give me at least 20, 25, like I know he can for the next 3 games, we good.
Yeah, but he has to get 25 and Giannis has to get 30 to me.
Well, I'm thinking right now, if Giannis, this is how I feel. I feel like this. The Bucks should be good enough to take out the Hawks without Giannis. We should be able to rest Giannis and be ready for the finals. Have him ready for the finals. That's how I feel right now. But it depends on what happens with Chris Middleton. And like you said, game 5 is critical, because if you lose game 5, you're facing an elimination in game 6. So,
because if you win game 5, you want to win game 6. But if you lose game 6, at least you got game 7 to fall back under. But if you lose game 5, that means you got so much pressure in game 6 to win on the road, and your team is not playing well, and Giannis is not healthy. I don't care if Giannis plays or doesn't play. They have to win game 5. They have to. The Bucks.
Oh yes, absolutely. You don't want that pressure going into game 6. You do not want that pressure going into game 6. And game 5 is in Milwaukee.
Right. Yeah.
That's why you win. Yeah, you gotta win on your home court. Now, again, Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez, they should be able to get this done. Mm-hmm. It's a matchup nightmare across the board for the Atlanta Hawks. That's why I feel like the Bucks had the best roster assembled to basically face almost any team in the league. Because defense, like everybody is at least 6'5". At least 6'5". We can handle anybody. But again, I feels good to get this off my chest, because I've been sitting on this since last night.
I know.
I've been sitting on this since last night.
It's like a daily thing with Milwaukee. If they get to the finals, we're gonna be talking shit about them again. It's like, yo, did you see what the Bucks did again? It's like, they're frustrating.
Like, just one last thing before we end up touching on the Suns and the Clippers.
Okay.
Giannis will go on a spurt where he'll drive inside, go into the paint, just bully his way into the paint, throw an elbow or two, get a dunk or a layup. Then I would probably say, after he does that about 4 or 5 times,
shoots a jump shot.
Yes. I'm like, what are you doing? You're killing him right now. What are you doing? Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Like, you just had a great defensive stand. Take your ass in the paint and get the guaranteed points. I don't understand why that is so hard. What is Budenholzer doing?
Stop. I don't know. Stop shooting the 3 and go in and get a mid-range shot. Like, work on your mid-range. Like, for example, not that Giannis and D Wade are the same players, but Dwayne was a terrible three-point shooter his whole career. But what did he do? He learned how to get a mid-range shot. Yo, your 3-point shot is not falling. Learn to get a mid-range. Go inside and get a mid-range. And once they start respecting your shot, then you can start shooting more threes. but he just shoots a three. It's like, yo, every time he shoots a three, the defense is like, thank God.
Yeah, like you're giving them a break. Like,
exactly.
Keep killing them. You're killing them right now. Your foot is on their neck. Kill him. Kill him. That's all I'm saying. Just kill him. I don't care if you miss. Just if you got to pass it out because everybody jump you, just keep doing what you're doing. They have no answer for you, Giannis. Like, Giannis right now is probably the most unstoppable driver to the basket right now since LeBron. Like,
yeah.
You can do this. Like, just do it. Like, I don't want it. Like, Buddha holes are getting on my damn nerves, bro. Like, for real. Like, what are we talking about in the locker room? Like, what are we talking about during the timeout? Like, at some point, you're gonna be like, Giannis, stop shooting. Chris Middleton, I bet not see you in any shooting motion. Like, for real. Stop shooting. You're killing us. You're getting
the
us
thing with Giannis is he hits 1 or 2 threes and he thinks that he's Steph Curry. Like, yo, bro, no, you got lucky. Just chill, bro. Chill. Don't shoot more threes.
I can understand. Okay, shoot a three with 2 or 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Cool, but don't come down the lane with a full shot clock with like 15 seconds left and you just pull. Like, that's
Chris. That's Middleton. Like, come on, man. He just walks up and just takes a shot with all contested. It's like, why do you do that? I think there should be a rule. I think there should be three shots, 3 attempts a game for Giannis for 3. Just 3. Start up with 3. If he starts making 2 out of 3, then he can go more. But just 3 attempts. Just 3. That's it.
If you miss the first 3, you're done.
You're done. That's it. No more. Don't shoot no more threes. That's it.
All right, man. The Phoenix Suns and the Los Angeles Clippers right now. What's going on with them? Talk to me.
The Phoenix Suns are up by 9, 66-57. They look in control. The Clippers are playing rush. But see, I don't want to talk too soon because the Clippers played like this last game and the game before. And they came back. But it's like, how many times can they do that? You know, so it's kind of the Clippers' problem. They have the same sort of problem as the Bucks. They take too many threes. Like, Paul George takes way too many threes. He has the game to drive and kick or drive and get a layup or get fouled. You don't have to do that step back 3 that he does all the time. And then Reggie Jackson, all he does is the damn 3. It's like, it's going in lately, but that's not working right now. Like, they have to try something else. And I think they should play Boogie Cousins more because when he came in last game, he scored 12 points like right away. He balled out. Him and Morris, you know, they're playing well. Right now, they're just going through the motions. They still have a chance to win this game, but it's not looking good. As far as the Suns, I think they're more of, they just want to get this over with. Like, they're just, I think Devin Booker's playing hard. They're playing good defense, but they're like, yo, let's just win this game and get into the finals and rest. They want to get this over with, but I don't think they should put their foot off the gas because the Clippers, again, they can come back and force the game 7. And I think if it goes to 7, I mean, are you going to pick over the Clippers? And like, if it goes to 7, who would you pick?
Clippers.
Clippers in 7?
Okay. What's the status on Kawhi right now? Because I haven't looked at it today.
He's still out. He's still out indefinitely. He still has the knee, knee.
It's still day to day?
Yeah, still day to day.
So shout out to Quinte in the chat, by the way. So if it goes to a game 7, I find it very, very hard for Kawhi to miss that game.
If it goes to a game 7, I don't think they need Kawhi to win. I think they need Kawhi to win a championship, but they don't need Kawhi to beat the Suns if it goes to 7. So they might keep him off too. I don't know, like, because it's a knee injury. You don't want to do the Kevin Durant thing. You remember a couple of years ago when the Warriors were, Kevin Durant got injured against the Rockets, and then they were able to get past the Rockets.
Achilles.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so you don't want to risk that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I'm still gonna go with the Clippers. How about that? I'm gonna go with the Clippers.
Okay. Oh, they got some ground to cover. They're on the free throw line now, but yeah, I think the Suns are just playing not to lose, which is not good. It's never a good thing to play not to lose. They need to play to win. They're just keeping ahead and just staying even kills like, yo, they need to chill because the Clippers can come out and win after being down 3-1, and that would be so awful for Chris Paul. If you think about it, Chris Paul, 2008. Let's go back to 2008 because I'm an NBA historian. They lost Game 7, the Hornets against the Spurs in New Orleans against the Spurs. That had to hurt. Then he goes to the Clippers, and the first year they beat the Memphis Grizzlies, and then they got swept by the Spurs. In the second year, they lose in the first round to the Memphis Grizzlies, and then 2014 they lose against OKC. But I mean, that's OKC. That's Westbrook and Durant. So who was going to beat them? And then 15 looks like it was going to be their year, right? Looks like it was going to be. You're going to see a Clippers-Warriors rivalry. That's going to be the start of the year. They go up 3-1 against the Rockets and then lose 3 games in a row. It's like, what? And then he gets injured in 16. They lose in the second round against Portland, or first round. And then 17, they lose against Utah. It's like he's been having bad luck. And then lo and behold, you get James Harden. You have the number 1 seed. You lose against the Warriors, which is understandable. It's the fucking Warriors. Then you come out in 2019 and Kevin Durant goes down and you think you have a chance and you still lose. So it's like, yo, Chris Paul has been suffering playoff losses after playoff losses his whole career. And it's like, it'll be so good for him if he can finally just make it to the finals. Even if he loses, just make it to the finals, just to feel that, it would be great. That would be a great story. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, again, I'm going Clippers 7. Clippers in 7. I don't think I put out this prediction yet. Well, I might end up beating my words if the Suns win this game. That's it. So they're currently up 68-62 right now, 9:56 left in the third quarter. I'm gonna hold
71.
I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait on my prediction until after the game. So that'll be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You'll actually get the prediction who I'm gonna go with in game 7. So
okay.
Lastly, we're gonna go back to the NFL real fast. CBS Sports decided they wanted to drop their top 16 2021 NFL coaches. I'm going to read you the list from 16 all the way down to 1. Mm-hmm. You've got Miami Dolphins, Brian Flores at number 16, Mike Zimmer, the Minnesota Vikings, number 15, Mike Vrabel, the Tennessee Titans at 14, Kevin Stefanski, Browns coach at 13, Colts, Frank Reich at 12, Kyle Shanahan, 49ers at 11, Mike Tomlin, Pittsburgh Steelers at 10, Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers at 9, Bruce Arians, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 8, Pete Carroll, the Seattle Seahawks at number 7, Sean McVay, the Los Angeles Rams, at number 6, and Sean McDermott at number 5 for the Buffalo Bills, Sean Payton, New Orleans Saints at number 4, John Harbaugh, the Baltimore Ravens at number 3, and Bill Belichick for the New England Patriots at number 2. And at number 1, we have Andy Reid for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Why is Bill Belichick still number 2?
Where would you put him?
He definitely belongs in the top 10, but he didn't really have a good year coaching last season. So I don't know if I'll put him 2. John Harbaugh. What did the Ravens finish? Did they make the playoffs last year? I think John Harbaugh is.
I think that's a good spot for Harbaugh. Nah. It's a tie between. Well, it's interchangeable right now for me between Sean Payton and John Harbaugh. Honestly, because the Saints ended up winning. They won the division. The Baltimore Ravens, they were a wild card. They were a wild card. Second place, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Was it Steelers? Yeah,
it was the Browns, I think. Was it the man? I can't even remember who won the daggone division.
I think it was the Steelers. But not Bruce Arians. Sorry, Matt LaFleur. That's way too high for me. He needs to go down below the top 10. I think the Tennessee coach should be in the top 10. The way
Tennessee, So Vrabel, he's at number 14. So I agree with you. I think Vrabel should be in the top 10. You got to take Mike Tomlin out of the top 10.
Nah, stop. You always hate on Mike Tomlin, brother. Come on, man. Did you look up who won the division last year in the AFC North?
I'm looking it up right now. But Tomlin got to go.
Come on, man. Why y'all hate on not y'all? You why you hate on? I think he belongs at 10. He's fine at 10. He's fine at 10. Pete Carroll, do you still consider him a good coach? I mean, I do. His team has been consistently relevant for years, as far as he's been there. So I like him at 7. Bruce Arians,
Steelers.
Was it more Steelers? Thank you. Was it more of the team or was it more of the coach? Because you think they could have plugged any coach at Tampa Bay, or I don't think so.
Here's the thing with Tampa Bay. I respect Tampa Bay. Even when Tom Brady wasn't there last year, I felt like Bruce Arians did an excellent job with Jameis Winston. I just felt like they were a quarterback away from being an actual contender, and as you saw,
which ended up happening,
which you saw end up happening. Tom Brady ended up taking to the Super Bowl and actually winning it. So I like Bruce Arians. I've always liked Bruce Arians. Even when it's time with Arizona, I loved Bruce Arians. I wanted Bruce Arians in Miami, but that didn't end up happening. They decided to end up going with a unproven head coach. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Let me get back to you about Tomlin. To win that division, that division, that AFC, look, man, stop it. That AFC North is a tough division, bro. It's a tough division. To win that division, you got to give him love, man. Come on, man. I'm not saying he's the greatest coach ever, but he definitely belongs in the top 10.
They barely won it. They barely won it. They took their foot off. They took the foot off the gas.
They won though. They won. Come on,
they barely won it. They barely won it. And they started off. I think they were like 10-0 or something like that. And then they were just. I think they just ended up going on a slide. They was going on a serious slide at one point, and they just lucked out. They just ended up lucking out. To be honest with you.
No word on Sean McVay. You good with Sean McVay at 6?
Sean McVay. Sean McVay. I'll keep him at 6. Yeah, I'll keep him at 6, considering the fact that he made the playoffs. I'll keep him at 6. Sean McDermott, he got to get out of the top 5. I feel like that is a coach right there on the rise, but he doesn't need to be in the top 10. If anything, I will probably put Kyle Shanahan in the top 10 before I put Sean McDermott in the top 10.
So, were you keeping Belichick? I would drop down Belichick. First of all, John Harbaugh, he doesn't belong in the top 5 either. So take him out and take Sean McDermott out.
Okay,
I'll put Belichick at 3 or 4. Sean McDermott, take him out and take John Harbaugh out too. He doesn't belong in the top 5. I think he belongs in the top 10, but not top 5. Well, I don't know. He might be outside the top 10 as well.
Okay, so real quick, out of respect, Belichick needs to be either number 2 or number 1. 6 championships.
Yeah, but this is based on what you did last season, or is this based on just overall?
I think it's overall, to be honest, because
if it's overall, come on, Belichick should be number 1.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, because Sean McDermott is your first time making the playoffs. Second time making the playoffs. Okay. Number 5, I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. You shouldn't be in the top 5. Like Kyle Shanahan.
Who's 12 again?
12 is Frank Wright. Frank Wright. Damn, Frank Wright for the Indianapolis Colts.
Okay.
That's
where Matt LaFleur should be. He shouldn't be in the top 10.
I think Matt LaFleur is just a product of the greatness of Aaron Rodgers at this point. So we're going to see what Matt LaFleur looks like without Aaron Rodgers. But yeah, Vrabel definitely in the top 10. If McDermott is there, Vrabel most definitely should be there. Zimmer, I feel like they just living in the Green Bay Packers shadow right now. I think after the decision is made for Aaron Rodgers, that division is going to be up for grabs between the Chicago Bears or the Minnesota Vikings, because I don't think the Green Bay Packers are going to be a very good team without Aaron Rodgers. So
Mhm.
I feel like Zimmer is he's just suffering from the Michael Jordan syndrome, if you get what I'm
Mhm.
saying.
Mhm.
A
And I
lot of
agree with
great players ain't getting no championship because Jordan is sitting in the league. But yeah, I feel like Zimmer at 15. I mean, excuse me, Mike Vrabel at number 14. That's craziness. You got to
you.
you
Didn't
got to
say anything about Floyd, the Dolphins coach. I'm surprised you didn't say nothing about that yet. You think he belongs in that list? He's 16, right? He's number 16, right? Isn't he?
Yes, Brian Flores is number 16. Yes, that is correct. Um,
Great spot, higher. What you think?
I'm trying to think of some head coaches off the top of my head that I think that's better than him that's not on the list right now. So
Not many.
yeah, not many. Personally, I would think I would put Ron Rivera over him for the
Mm.
Washington football team. If we're just going off a body of work, I put Ron Rivera in there before I put Flores on the list. Thinking about it in the NFC West, only really okay. So you have the Seattle Seahawks. That's Pete Carroll. Nope. Arizona Cardinals. No, I wouldn't put him over anybody on the Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, really? John Gruden? Hell no. I wouldn't put
No.
John Gruden over him.
No.
Uh really? Yeah. 16 is
What
fine.
about the Denver coach?
No.
No,
No.
the Broncos.
16 is fine. I think only like I said, the only issue that I would have is probably Ron Rivera off the top of my head right now. But yeah, I think at this point 16 is fine for Brian Flores right now. You are in a make or break season right now, my friend. You gotta make the playoffs, otherwise you're done.
Yeah, because you had a decent year last season, but you didn't make the playoffs, unfortunately. So, if I think, unfortunately for him, if they don't make the playoffs, he'll probably lose his job, which is not good. But that's just the nature of sports. Like if you don't produce, you're not going to stay around.
Absolutely not. Now I will
You
say,
you don't think so?
I agree. I 1000% agree because I remember when he ended up signing that long-term contract with the Dolphins. I believe it was a 5-year deal. Like just the response of the 5-year deal, like folks was like, okay, yes, he gets an opportunity to clean up the roster and then break it down and build it back up. In my
This is
head,
year 3.
yeah, this is year 3. So
Okay.
my head, I'm thinking, okay, I'm not a big fan of rebuilds. I'm more of the kind of guy like, okay, we are going to retool a couple things and then we're gonna get right back in the battle. That's
You know
my
what?
mindset.
You know what's a perfect example for that, and it's a different sport. But for example, when LeBron left the Heat did not rebuild and become nothing like the Cavaliers. They stayed relevant and just retooled and just stayed relevant and made the playoffs. And of course, they didn't win another championship, but they didn't become irrelevant. So I get your point. Not rebuild, but retool. Just tool up.
Yeah,
And just stay.
just tool up. Like, don't break the whole thing down because
Yeah.
your job is on the line. Like, you're not going to be staying for the whole 5 years. I just want people to know that. Like, it looks nice on paper, but if we don't see any progression in year 2, you out of you year 3, that seat is hot. that seat is hot. So my whole mindset right now with Flores is like, we going into year 3 right now. If you don't get, at this point, it don't really matter of how many wins you get. Well, actually, it does. If you don't get at least 10 wins and make the playoffs, you're done.
That's what I'm
You're
saying.
done.
He has to make the playoffs. He has to make the playoffs. If he don't make the playoffs, then he might be another Dolphin coaching change. Another one.
Oh yeah, it'll be a tragedy. It will most definitely be a tragedy. And like I said, I'm not a fan of rebuilds. It comes down to just retooling and getting back into the battle because that sets a coach up for failure. To be honest with you, because things may not end up working out the way that you wanted to work out. Luckily for the Dolphins, it somewhat did, even though there was some of the decisions that I was not exactly on board with, but it is what it is. The Dolphins are relevant. So, final thoughts before we end up closing this thing out, man.
I just want to give a shout out to our brother. I don't think we talk about him enough. What he's doing, talking about Banks. You know, my brother's keeper. He's doing a great job. He's a good man, and the way he's doing, bringing people along and talking about mental health, like he should get a lot of praise. That so salute to you, brother. Hope to see you Saturday. Also, shout out to Quinte. Shout out to Havoc and Shake and Joe. What's it? Joe Messina? Is that his name?
Machado.
Joe Machado. Shout out to them, and hope to see you guys Saturday. And just want to keep spearing peace and love. Think before you react. Violence is not the answer. It's all about peace, and that's it.
That was nicely put. I don't even think I have anything to top that. I think you put that perfectly. Most definitely shout out to Banks as far as mental awareness for men specifically, because men in general, they always have this mindset of the tough guy mindset where they feel like they're always good, and 9 times out of 10 they usually ain't good, especially when it comes down to certain situations that happen in life. Me personally, I've been there. I know how that feels, but yeah, it's beautiful what he's doing with the whole mental health, how he's driving that with the My Brother's Keeper show. For the 3 people in the chat, if you haven't checked out the My Brother's Keeper show, be sure to check the show out Friday evenings. But outside of that, man, for real, that's all I got. I actually just thought about dropping a video tonight. Be sure to be back 9 p.m. Eastern time Saturday evening. Another big show we're going to have. I just went a blank here. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Not For Debate Pod on Twitter, and on Instagram _podcast. Be sure to also hit the like button, subscribe button, and most definitely share if you're on the tube. This is the Not For Debate podcast. We up out of here, man.